charts like books, Elliott Wave plots. Others guessing blind, clutch connects the dots. Mac D, RSI, trendline sniper. Why they chase the hype? He's the quiet decipher. Whispers to himself, patience pays the bold. Timing the entries, that gets pure gold. No noise in his zone, just signals he reads. Plays the long game, planting profit seeds. Clutch moves, he don't flinch, no fear. Candles glow bright when the path ain't clear. Clutch moves, he's the one they all cheer. Stacking those wins, year after year. Charts light up, glow brighter than the Vegas Strip. Seeing me gaps, got the streaks on a crypto trip. Candles dancing, wig slicker than a hustler's drip. Novex move silent, no need for a clip. Legend in the trade, fingerprints on the block. Blockchain buzzing every tick like a Glock. Defy dreams, I'm stacking on that E-Rock. Wallet full of alpha keys, turn never lock. Novex finance where the game gets flipped. Candle pattern sparking every chart we grip. Decentralized hustle, never sink, never slip. West side grind making coins do flips. Bulls charge hard, bears lurking in the fog. Patterns in the smoke, I'm the wizard with the log. Fibonacci spirals, I'm the code in the cog. Crypto moves sharper than a diamond studded dog. Green and red candles, paper Picasso on the screen. Liquidity pools deep, pockets never lean. Well swim silent, but I peep the scheme. Alpha moves nightly. Cashing out the dream. From the Satoshi code to the ether's flame. Novex rewrites rules in this money game. Charts speak the gospel, prophets proclaim. West side rider, blockchain my plane.
There we go.
What's up, everybody? Just give us a moment. Clutch might be having some technical issues. I can't hear him. Can anybody else?
No, I think.
Oh, I thought it was me.
When
I was actually just going to check the stream. Oh.
Yeah.
What's good, guys? We're back with Trade Talk.
You got the questions for us, Andrew?
Yeah, man. I was gonna give Clutch a little sec to get back, but man, let's get it kicked off while we figure out some of these technical difficulties, guys. We're streamers, man, but we're Trade Talk on just the streams. So bear with us while we get this dialed in, guys. This is Trade Talk. If this is your first time here, welcome. Do this every Monday. Let me get my camera up while I do this little intro here. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you follow me, Clutch, Novex, and all these speakers on the panel today. You guys don't miss this. Guys, also make sure you guys are doing your trading on Novex. It's the people's exchange. It was built by traders. So we got all the bells and whistles you're going to want to have as a trader, and then all the extras that you're going to want to have on. So yeah, how we run these episodes is they're all about getting money, they're all about printing profits. So that's what we're going to get into today. So what I have to do on here is throw out a little question. We throw it around, everybody get their thoughts on it, and that's the ways to take some money away from it. Then we kick it over to Clutch, sealing on the market. He'll call a trade for the day. He'll call a direction for the next couple days, and he'll call a range for the next couple days, so you guys can get out there and scrape it while we're not on stream and stuff like that. But guys, do me a favor in the meantime. I throw out this intro question. Repost the space. Tag a friend in the comments. If you don't got a friend, say what's up in the comments. You never know if you're gonna boost us up the algorithm on one of the ones, and we stream this everywhere: X, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch. We're everywhere, baby. But yeah, comment for wherever you're at, and you never know if you're gonna bring somebody in here something. They come back and maybe they join the stream, find something all of us miss. Maybe it's Novex, we all make $1 million off it. So let's get this stream in front of some people and really provide some value, man. So here's my check-in question for the day. It's and it's an interesting time, right? Because we have a bit of a market pump going on, and it's not a big pump, but it varies like this. I think any pump you highlight it. Right now the market's pumping a little bit, but we have a ton of war news brewing now, and I wonder how you guys feel about it. Right? Apparently, Israel is going to ask the United States to assist with attacking Iran. We have the obviously the Russia-Ukraine conflict's been going on for a while. Every time it looks like it's going to end, there's a lot saying it's not over yet. And then now, the top of that, we have this conflict escalating between the United States and Venezuela, and the United States has gone as far as to season some oil tankers, and then Venezuela has gone so as far as handing out rifles to the citizens of the country so that they can have a militia ready in case the United States invades. So the reason I'm putting all this out there, making sure everybody's fully up to date, is curious, man. Do you think this war news is going to happen, and is it going to send us lower, or has it been brewing for so long that the price is already baked in on it, right? And a lot of times that's what happens with these long drawn out conflicts. But so much going on right now with all this stuff that I'm not entirely sure how to feel. So I'm gonna throw it over to the homie Hermit. He's always up bright and early, always putting in some honest work. How you doing, bro? How was the weekend? And how do you feel about all this war news? Is it all priced in already, or are we just are we going to zero with when the bombs drop? Oh, we lost Hermit. All good. I'll throw it over to Massimo. Massimo, how you doing, bro? And what do you think about all this war news?
Good morning, fam. I think obviously, look, we got to pay attention to this type of news, right? Especially, given just the overall energy throughout the world right now, right? I don't, however, feel like it's going to, come into massive play. Like, even if Venezuela, short of Venezuela, right? Like, coming out and being like, we are in a full scale war, like all hands on deck with America, even then I don't feel like the impact is going to be that large. I mean, we're the premier military powerhouse in the world, and we are for a very specific reason. And at the end of the day, I think, a lot of the times, like Venezuela, like whatever moves they're planning on making, like we already know what they're doing. Like we're already, 3 steps ahead of them. So I don't feel like the impact, has the ability to be that great. As far as Israel goes, I don't think, I mean, it's funny, like, does anyone recall a conversation months back that Trump just had with Iranian leadership, and all the money that they commit, the billions and billions of dollars they commit to the U.S. and our infrastructure and trade deals and this and that, like and that that's kind of asinine to me. It would be like me going to my sister-in-law and saying, "Hey, can you help me flirt with this girl?" Like wait a minute, like you're married to my sister. You know what I mean? Like it does not, like, it doesn't make sense to me that what's it called? That we would that there's going to be any massive red flag or any action taken, with Iran and us. However, it doesn't mean that our Israel or Iran might not do something stupid and escalate things further to where we have to get involved from a protection standpoint. But I still just don't feel like the where it's at with Israel and Iran or us in Venezuela. I just don't feel like it's going to be creating that massive of an impact. Now, if we were, you know, 25 to 35% higher on on total market cap on all these all these stables, all these coins, like if there was a bit more of a baked in inflated price, then maybe. But I also think that part of the reason why we have been like, it's hard to even call this a little pump that we've been on, but let's be honest, it has been like, it's been a little bit of a mini pump, right? I feel like the market has already been trading overly cautious because of that and everything going on as well. So I think because of that in particular, and amongst the other things I mentioned, I don't think it's going to be creating as much of an impact unless something went, like I said, full scale escalation, all hands on deck, full scale war, World War III. Then of course, right? Of course.
Yeah, I'm with you on the point that, like, Venezuela, I imagine there's too much to worry about there, and maybe there's some people that are super dialed into military and military maneuvers and situations like that that can tell me why I'm wrong. But yeah, I'm like, if anything happened, it's probably not gonna be long, and we'll probably insert whatever new leader we want there. But the the Iranian one, I'm actually the other side of the fence, and that's actually the scary one to me, because I pay attention to Trump a lot, and he's been bragging big time about how we bombed and quote unquote obliterated the nuclear facilities over in Iran, and so if for me, I'm all like, is he just trying to prep us for when he's like, yeah, we're actually gonna finish what we started? So that's the side of the coin where I'm like, man, I don't know, that could break into something different. But I am also still with you, Massimo, on the fact that, like, yeah, dude, if we were trading 20 to 30% higher, I feel like there was a lot more to fall. But like you said, a lot of people are already trading cautiously at this point.
Yes, sir.
Great insights, Massimo. Always appreciate them. We got Hermit back. I'm gonna check in with the homie Hermit right quick. Hermit, bro, weekend, how you doing? And what do you think about all this war news between Israel, Iran, United States, Venezuela, Russia, Ukraine? Is the downside that could happen already baked in, or you think we're gonna drop when they're dropping?
Good morning, everybody. Had a pretty decent weekend. I got into some meme coins last week that I thought were dead, and the dev woke up. The dev went to sleep, people sold, and then the dev woke back up, and everything seems to be okay. And I have made a little bit of profit on those. But in terms of the whole war scenario thing, I'm pretty sure around 2:30 Eastern or something like that, Trump and Secretary of War Hegseth is going to be doing a quote unquote major announcement. What that entails, I am not sure. And I don't like the whole Iran thing. That whole thing just aggravates the ever loving daylights out of me. And I hope upon hope that we don't get that whole thing. Like, Israel, Palestine, Israel, everybody versus everybody else. I've just about had it. I don't want to see anybody getting blown up or anything like that. But as far as I'm concerned, they need to figure out their issues and stop dragging other people in there with them. In that case, and like it or not. That's just my opinion. As for Venezuela, had last year or 2 years ago or something like that, where there seemed to be a little, lack of a better term right now, fuckery. Excuse my language. I should probably be more professional, but just a little shenanigans going on in that regard. And Maduro was elected again. So the funny thing is it's like, hey, we're handing out rifles to the militia, quote, citizens for a militia. I'm not sure how well that actually goes in that regard, just because if I'm not mistaken, there weren't a lot of people that liked Maduro over there, anyways. So I don't know. Hopefully, we don't have to deal with any of that stuff again. The whole seizing oil tankers. I think that has more to do with sanctions of other countries, and Venezuela's just like, well, we'll just ship it with our tankers or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I quite frankly am tired of all the BS and I'm tired of all the nonsense. And if we drop, then if the market drops because bombs start dropping, so be it. Like, that's why we have a short button. So that's how I would look at it at this point in time. I think we just need to start taking care of ourselves and doing other things other than blowing everything else up. But if we have to blow
Hermit,
stuff up, then we have to blow stuff up. It is what it is at that
you
point.
actually,
But that's
I
my
just want to
opinion.
add to what you just said because you just reminded me of something. And I can't believe that, this didn't get national
That's
news
all
and
I got.
national attention. But a couple weeks ago, Trump came out and basically said, we're done being the world's freaking
Did
protector.
Andrew
Like,
rug us?
can you hear me?
Oh, I hear Herman. I don't
I
think you
can't
can hear
hear him.
Massimo.
Yeah, you can hear Massimo. Can y'all hear me? I'm back.
Yep.
Yeah, I think everybody can hear everybody except Hermit.
Yeah, Herman, take a lap, bro.
I was just going to say real quick that a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago, and I can look it up and I can pull the exact date and time or date as well. But basically, Trump said he's not going to be a world's protector anymore. Like, look, I'm not sending troops to fix your shit if you're not supporting us. Like, it's like that one friend. Everyone's got that one friend that you're having a great time and everyone's doing well, but he's going to freaking start a fight. You just want to stop hanging out with that friend. Well, that's basically announcement that was made. It was like, hey, yeah, we're looking after ourselves. Like, it's truly America first. So I do think actually we'll start to see less world situations. What's called with us being involved in less world situations, which mean that they'll be affecting us less respectfully as well.
Yeah, I recalled that speech. I know I've been trading prediction markets, so I listen to literally every Trump speech now, and I even go through and listen to his old ones. And one thing I caught too, and I was like, dang it, that's true. That's big, right? Because my whole life, I just remember every time, like as a kid, and being like, well, it doesn't make any sense to me that we're involved in this conflict. And my stepdad be like, well, the United States is the police of the world. And it's like, how are we responsible for all this stuff, man? And I think you nailed it with that thing. It's like, man, eventually you get to that point to where you don't want to hang out with that dude that picks the fight every time you guys go out. You've seen how it can go sometimes, and you get to a certain age, you're like, you know what, I'm done with this. And I think as a country, a lot of us that grew up with the United States being that, we're like, hey, that's not what we want to be a part of. And our forefathers actually warned against that, to be real. Great to hear from you always, as Massimo. Man, we got some more people to check in with. We got Alex across the pond. We got our Jersey Morgan Clutch. I don't know. Go to first. Do we go to the Jersey girl, or do we go to UK boy?
Gentlemen first.
No, well, in that case, we can't go to Alex. Duh, that answer, Morgan. Thank you very much. What's up, Morgan? How you doing? Pleasure meeting you. Honestly, a healthy addition to the estrogen levels that we have been fighting with here, especially with Alex, always wanting to take the leading role for the emotional discourse. But how are you?
I'm very well.
Hey,
Thank
I've seen Jersey Shore. I don't know what we're signing
Listen.
up
Oh,
for.
this is scary. This is scary.
Listen. I am the one who started the New Jersey fist pump. Screw all those guys. They have no clue what they're doing. They didn't do it like I did it. I was the first one. I swear to God. I swear I danced even crazier than them. So
Wow.
no, it's so nice.
JWoww or Snooki, Morgan?
Ah.
Which one? Which one are we going with?
So,
JWoww.
am I fighting her or hanging out with her? Which one?
You know what? Let's go with we're trading with her.
We're trading. Oh God, we
That's
got
a real Jersey girl right
Well,
there.
Am I trying to like learn from her or like teach her or like am I trying to win with her?
We're trying to win with her.
Okay, so then I'm gonna do JWoww.
Hey, okay, that was a trick question. If you would have said Snooki, I would have sent you to Hermit's Cave. No one's ever made it out once they were sent to Hermit's Cave. So you know.
Well, I'm afraid of the hermit cage now that I know that. But I've seen Snooki actually online do ear candling, and it was not the smartest thing I've ever seen. So I don't think I would want to trade with her. If I wanted to kick her ass in some trading, sure, okay, then I would choose Snooki. Yeah, but it's really nice to be here with you guys, and thank you so much for letting me be here and for hanging out with you guys. So I'm looking to learn a lot of new things. Hopefully I can bring you guys some value. We'll have to do Sunday dinner, which is really breakfast, and we'll do pork roll. I'll bring the Jersey pork roll. We'll get our Jersey on. So
no one warned us that at least no one warned Alex that his replacement would be so amazing. Alex, how's it feel to bring on your competition and actually have the crew like the competition better than you?
I can't do that.
Then bring it on. I'm ready for the full-on competition. I'm here for it. Yeah.
I love the sunglasses. Listen. I'll go get my aviators and I'll put on my my Adidas tracksuit and I'll get.
I'm ready.
We'll do a little dice clay or something, back and forth.
Nice.
That's what's up.
I got to get us back on track, guys. We only got so much time till we get to this part. But no, Morgan, I want to hear your opinion on this for real. What do you think about the war news? You think it could send us slower, or is it baked in?
God, I'm so in the middle, and it's like I'm the worst to ask this because I never know what to believe, which is true when it comes to this shit. And it's like I don't know. I want to be positive and say that no matter what that we're going higher, but I don't know. I think it could have a negative effect on us. So I don't know. Honestly, politics is tough for me. My mom was a politician, so I just I try to stay away from it. But I have been trying to pay attention. But while you guys have been talking, I've been familiarizing myself with Restream. So you got to forgive me for not being fully in the conversation. But I promise you, I will.
You're good.
It's just
I like to hear what everybody's thinking, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though you're like, I don't know a lot about politics, sometimes you just have that golden nugget that turns the conversation into gold.
Well, I promise you I will add more value in further conversations. When I came on, I was like, okay, where's the chat? How do I do this? How do I do that? So
dude, I'm still figuring out Restream.
Yeah, this is my first time doing it, and I hope I'm doing it right. So I appreciate you guys, though.
Good to hear from you, Morgan. Great to meet you. I feel like you're going to continue to bring a lot of value. You brought value just the first conversation we had this morning. So I'm sure as you familiarize yourself more of what we do in particular, you're going to just keep crushing it with us.
No, I appreciate it. And always looking for a great team to crush it with. And glad to be vibing with you guys. So whatever I could do, I'm here for it.
Let's go.
Beast mode.
Let's check in with the homie Alex, who introduced us to Morgan. Alex, how you doing, bro? How's it feel not to be the only female on stage for once?
It's nice to bring Morgan into the team. Alexis needed someone to help out, some extra hands and stuff.
I could never replace you, bud. I can never replace you. I promise. And I would never.
It's because that smell. You can't get rid of that stench, Whiskey and freaking Polish sausage. Yeah, I'm okay.
Whoa! I'm Polish too. You gotta watch it with the sausage, okay?
How did I know that?
probably see
Sorry.
these big cheeks shining through on the, even though my face isn't showing. It's just, I love the kibasi. Hey.
Hey, love it.
What's good though, Alex? Man, how you feeling? How was your weekend? And what do you think about
Yeah, it
this
was.
war news? You got any special insights from the UK?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, yeah, I guess I think I read once earlier in the year that they're like all the munitions need to be used up by next year because and stuff. So that's probably what someone's looking to start a war somewhere. So if you're into that, into those kind of stocks, you probably pump your bags. But obviously, we're going to, people be if everybody hates the war, it brings uncertainty and stuff. So that will bring down the markets. But there's places you can win otherwise. So that's interesting. Yeah, we'll have a bit of a dip if there is certain oil that goes down. But I think it wasn't the news that he was he's selling some munitions to different countries and stuff, or fighter jets and stuff like this. But the weekend was good. I went to see the ponies do racing at the thing. I got complimentary
nice.
tickets from one of the guys. Yeah, so. Didn't have any winners, but drank a lot of champagne and ate a lot of caviar and salmon and stuff.
Sounds like a woman.
Yeah. I took one of the girls from space with us and met up with some of the old school ruffians and stuff. A few bottles of champagne. We missed most. We watched the first race and watched the end race, and spent the rest of the time at the champagne bar. But it was good fun there, Christmas and all that. It was Christmas carols and kids carousels and lots of kids and stuff. We went upstairs to the King Edward's the enclosure, but that was good. And then I met up with the siblings and we did Christmas on Sunday at the National Portrait Gallery, which was fun. Had a bit of a very nice Italian restaurant they got there and stuff, and then walked around and saw some art and stuff. So that was good. Let's get some blood and see what the Charts are doing today, man.
I mean, that sounds like a good time for sure. You had me at champagne, caviar, and salmon. That sounds like a great way to spend your weekend. But you also had,
complimentary.
that sounds even better, right? When I don't got to pay for it. But you also said a good point there too about the munitions had to be used by next year. That's pretty interesting to me with the timing of some of this stuff popping off. So that's definitely something to pay attention to, and I'm gonna look into that a bit.
Yeah, for sure, man. I remember someone mentioned it earlier in the year. It'd be worth going back and checking what exactly it is and stuff. But a lot of things like a lot of the insurance has to be not the insurance, but the debt has to be refinanced next year, hasn't it? So I'm guessing, they probably got the munitions on the same sort of debt thing, and Venezuela and and Iran and stuff, and obviously you got the whole the China stuff going on with China and and Taiwan and everything. So. There's a lot of tension everywhere, and obviously with the AI, US and China are racing towards the supercomputer that everybody wants,
No, for sure.
Mm.
We got a couple more check-ins to do here. Then we're gonna throw it over to Clutch for these charts. We all right, now that's moving around. I forgot who was here. Oh yeah, we got to throw it over to the homie Kua. I just found out where this dude lived yesterday. I always assumed he lived someplace else. But what's up, Kua? How you doing, homie? How was the weekend? And what do you think about all this war news of brewing? Is it already baked in, or if the bombs start dropping, are we going down too?
Hey, weekend was good. I took my boot off. I had a fracture in my foot, but it's good now, so I can walk now. But yeah, I think it's all baked in. One thing that you'll learn once you start trading and looking at the charts, it's the news is just noise. It's like it's already happen. It's already going to be happening in the chart, and they're just gonna try to look for something to blame it on. It's probably going to be the war, or whatever's going to happen. It's going to exaggerate what's already bound to happen. But yeah, that's something that eventually, if you're just getting into trading and then you know, you don't even need to look at the news, and if you learn how to read the charts, you kind of know something's coming up, and then you'll see, oh, they're going to use that for this um this downturn on the charts, and so on. So I think it's baked in, and yeah.
No, man, that's actually a great point. With the news is already into the charts, and like one of the most recent examples that I think really illustrates that the most was right when Trump took inauguration, and we're mostly crypto traders here, but I'll tell you guys on Novex, you can trade a bit of everything. You can trade the S&P 500, the Nas 100. They got gold and silver listed now, and they got a few stocks. I believe you can trade. Don't quote me on the stocks because I really haven't played with that yet. But I've definitely played with the Nas and the S&P and stuff. But the thing is, when I follow Tesla, right? Just because it's the high volume stock, and I just I don't know much about stock markets, right? I trade crypto, but I was following it around the time, and we have an indicator called the White Rabbit, and it has a 94 or 90 to 94, depending on a few variables, but a 90% success rate on calling reversals, and it was cooking. It hit the reversal exactly when, or hit the White Rabbit reversal point exactly when Trump took office. And it was just, we've talked many times on here about how all of us started de-risking and this and that, but that was very telling to me that it was like, okay, yeah, that's the top. But then a couple weeks later, when Trump really announced tariffs, that's when the sell-off started. So that top was already mathematically programmed, if you understand how charts work, right? Now they had to find a reason to take it down, and that reason was, hey, tariffs are going to dry up a little bit of liquidity, so now we can go up and eat everything down there. And lo and behold, if you look at Tesla, it's on the weekly, maybe it's the monthly, but I'm pretty sure it's the weekly. It had its top, which was, it was verified by White Rabbit indicator, and its bottom was on the day, the exact spot that you would expect it to reverse. And lo and behold, if you tie it was right when Trump started talking about easing some tariffs. So all this stuff is programmed, and the news is just kind of like all right, now's the time to do it, type thing. So that was a great thing to throw in there, Kua.
Yeah, no problem.
Question, if
Good
I
to hear
may.
from you, bro. What'd you say, word?
I said, question, if I may. Do you guys mind?
Go ahead.
I saw something, and I don't know if we're supposed to speak on it, but poker. I hear you guys play poker as well too here.
We do. We play a lot of poker around here.
I would love to see or join or be a part of that. So let me know anytime. I'm
got
down.
you.
I'll kick all your butts. I'm just saying.
I'll follow. I'll find your ex and follow you here in a few minutes, and I'll DM you. We got a few games that we do. I have a deal with America's Card Room. I host a tournament every Wednesday, and we stream on here almost every day. So we'll probably be streaming a little bit after this if you want to join. And then the homie Ghost, who I'm gonna throw it over to next. He actually partners with Phenom Poker. It's a cool site too. Just we like to have hands everywhere, but they do poker 4 nights a week as well. And so I'll make sure Ghost hits you up as well. I'm sure Ghost hits you up regardless. But yeah, I'm working. I'll definitely make sure you get all the details.
Very cool. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt, but I figured I'd just get that out right there. So
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
We're degenerates. You can bring up poker anytime around here.
Okay, good to know.
So I want to check in with Ghost, then we'll kick it over to Clutch so he can start dissecting the charts so these people can get the profits they came for. But Ghost, man, how you doing, bro? How was the weekend? Good to see you early. And what do you think about this war news, man? Is the price baked in because of it, or if some bombs start dropping, are we going down too?
GM. First off, I'd like to say hello to Mr. Runner Up today. How you doing, Clutch?
Bro, that's not a good introduction. I hate being runner up. See, some of y'all are okay with second place in poker tournaments. I huff and puff paced my living room for 2 days until I realized, wait, I should have done this and that different, and I would have won. And then I show up and deliver. But anyways, he knows what he's doing on purpose, deliberately, just stabbing me on the neck. Thanks, bro.
All right, you know what? This is Trade Talk. What's up, Mr. Topwick? How you doing, my man?
What's up, bro? Now, honestly, I'm having a great weekend. We got the first fruits of our labor from an egg standpoint. We had our first chicken lay an egg yesterday, and we split it as a family, all 3 kids, me and the wifey. We all had a bite. My goodness, bro. I don't like to get emotional on Mondays. Oh my goodness. Especially not in front of a, in front of a New Jersey chick. She's rough and tough, and here I am being weak and emotional.
Cracking eggs.
No, just cracking eggs. Hey, no, but no lie, man. Hard work pays off, and I am as we're getting ready to end this year. We've raised these chickens. We've spent money. We've cleaned. We've done all kinds of stuff. I miss trips staying over and babysitting the chickens. And 5 months later, we get our first egg. And it's just very rewarding, man. Thanks for asking, Ghost. But honestly, today is one of those few days where I'm low key super, super, super happy just because, again, the nature of how long it took for us to finally, taste the little chicken eggs.
Dude, I gotta say, man, I've been here for some milestones, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I was there when you had your first chicken to feast off.
Right.
Like, God is good all the time. He's blessed you with the land. He's blessed you with the actual food. And now you're not just like growing it, bro. You're about that life, bro. I feel like that's got to be like the most holy way to live. Like, all jokes aside, like, man, it's got to taste good and it's got to be rewarding. My sister does this, man. She's got eggs for days, bro. And that's cool, man. That's really cool. I got to come visit you, bro. I need to see this with my own set of eyes. Shout out to Andrew, man. Great question. You know, I've always thought it was fascinating that the charts align with the news and vice versa. I come from the stock world, so the buy the rumor, sell the news events are always the circumstance. And I think with crypto, it's no different. I think with crypto, there's a little bit of a different approach that I take. I think I like to see and wait for the overreaction and then play the opposite side. And so, is this news going to have an impact on the chart? Yes. Is it ever fully baked in? No, not necessarily. I think depending on how dramatic it could be, it could have already started to kind of take place. I think like what, he said the white rabbit, right? You look at the white rabbit and all of a sudden at the perfect time of it being essentially overbought, the bad news would come out. And then right as the 200 EMA is approaching, that's kind of the line in the sand. So they'll look for anything or keep an ace up their sleeve to kind of drop the news publicly in order for it to rebound. I do believe in what Kuya is saying about it being baked in. I do believe in what Andrew says in regards to how they just kind of have that perfect opportunity to drop something. And who do you think is going to be probably one of the best to do it? It's Trump. He is an economical president. He's going to be the one that's looking at the stock market. I think if you run back the history of time, I don't think anybody talks about the stock market more than him as a level of grades on how his economy is doing, right? And it's not a bad or good thing. I'm just pointing out one of the things I've always noticed with him is if you really pay attention to him, you can kind of get a little bit of a advantage in the markets. And I think this is just one of those things that are going to perfectly align. The difference is in this time around, we're in a lot of hanging on for dear lives on the charts. Like a lot of these charts have been horizontal for as long as you can imagine when you stretch out. And so there is going to be a make or break moment here. in due time. And this could be something that can send it that one leg lower if it is massive enough. And then, of course, that violent recovery would be in play. And so, yeah, I'm kind of right there with all of you guys. It sounds like I didn't get a chance to hear except for Morgan. Nice to meet you, by the way, Morgan.
Nice
I
to
don't-
meet you too. Don't judge me based off of that answer, though. I'm sorry.
Hey, nah, you're a breath of fresh air in the early morning. I think Clutch said it right, man. We finally got some extra flavor in here today, so you're good. You're good. No judgment. Thou shalt not judge.
Thank you. Same here. Same here.
Poker, then I might judge you a bit there because
I like a good competition, so I mean, you know.
Hey, you'll love it, dude. There's plenty of games every which way. You like Andrew was saying, and like myself, I'm with Phenom, so we have Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and then cash games all between. So it's going to be a blast. We're happy to have you a part of the fan bam. But yeah, no, that's pretty much where I'm at right now, man. I'm kind of just in alliance with all of you guys. I'm in agreement. I think it's absolutely baked in, but I also think that we're in a judgment zone right now where it's about to get crazy. And I'd love to see Mr. Topwick's TA today, because this man here is about to bless all of us with what he's seen in the charts from a TA standpoint. And I used to think no one does TA like myself, but Mr. Clutch has an advantage. He's got a couple things I ain't never even looked at before meeting him. So without further ado, man, let's check this out, bro.
No, let's freaking do it. I think we tapped in with everybody.
The only Ghost, and I think a lot of us are.
Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
There's a little bit of. I was just gonna throw it over to you to be.
Oh, well, I was just going to say we haven't heard from Loudpacks or Buddy today. They're the only two that are up here, haven't spoken. We can give them a chance to at least say what's up real fast before I continue, as I pretty much end the stream after my TA. Loudpacks, are you around, Buddy?
Yeah, I'm just doing this sign up real quick.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, I texted you. It won't allow, Restream won't repost for you unless you accept those terms. And I can tell you just from like an account connection, and I've done many accounts, these are all vetted services. Like, yeah, they can post for you, but they're not gonna post for you. It's just so they can post for you when you want them to. Like, hey, restream the stream, right? But anyhow, how are you, bro? How's the toy drive going?
It's all good. The online one didn't do much just because, people don't want to click links, but the IRL stuff went great.
That's what's up, dude. Loudpack's out. He's out of Las Vegas doing a toy drive. So check out Loudpacks on X. It's loud with a double D packs, right? That's your handle. So check out the homie and definitely what he's got going on, man. But that's what's up. Good seeing you, bro. Thank you for joining. Buddy, are you around? No? Okay, great. Buddy's just here for the algo, bro. That's what I love. Okay, mic check. Can you guys all hear me loud and clear? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Well, let's get to the TA. As you guys already know, that's what we came here for. I'm just gonna screen share my screen so you guys should be able to see everything here. Let's go to Trading View. And actually, before we go anywhere, we're supposed to go to CoinMarketCap. You guys already know the drill. So let's do so. Important thing. We crossed over the $3 trillion market cap, which is pretty insane considering that we've rejected this area a bunch of times. And typically you get these big old pullbacks, which hasn't came. So it's very interesting to me that we're hovering right at this level, being that it was 2 bull runs ago, all-time high. 3 to 3.3 trillion was the cycle high. This last part of the cycle, we went to 4.5 trillion. So a 50% increase on total market cap. And now here we are kind of just sitting here. The fear and greed index at 29, we had this fear go down to 21 on Friday's episode. So a lot of greed is out there in the market right now. I wonder why. Great question by Andrew, as it kind of lines up to a lot of these things, because what have we gotten? Rate cuts, We've gotten promises of a better economy and all these just, I don't know what I want to call them, but just a bunch of promises. And all we've gotten is on every pump, the market has just pulled back. Why? Well, there's a money shortage. There's a lot of things we can talk about, but we're not going to get too crazy with it today. We're just going to look at the stats, look at what Pumpy Dumpy is doing as a new weekly chart, a weekly candle just started, and really try to figure out where the market's going to go. Because I know I might land on the place where, I'm right more than I'm not, but it's not easy. And why is that? Is the things that I pay attention to is all the numbers. You can't hide the numbers. You can't do anything if you're a market maker without moving the needle, especially on certain charts like the Pumpy Dumpy chart, USDT dominance. So anyways, let's go to our charts now. As we've seen the health of the market is we're holding on in here just to kind of look at the chart. As you can see, we're formulating another bottom here, but we're still on a lower swing high. Could we really surpass 3.5 trillion and find the reversal? Well, it's going to be extremely difficult, but there is a possibility, and we're going to go look at that on USDT Pumpy chart. So for starters, we're going to go to the CME, as the CME is where we always like to start. So the other day was very interesting because on the CME on Friday, we closed this candle here, right, at 88,060. On the following day, this candle opened up at 88,570. So right around $500 of a little mini gap here. I was getting ready to post an RTG. Guys, remember there's a small CME gap. But before I even did that, they freaking dumped the candle just to close that gap. Look at the wick, perfectly closed. You can look at this on a 4-hour basis that much better, as you can see where the gap started. Check this out. So you had these candles on Friday, right? And then followed by the Sunday candle. But look at this Friday candle where it closed. We opened bigger, and you can kind of tighten it up and see it on the 1 hour even more, right? So once you start looking at the reason why we dumped and left that gap open, it's really, look at this. You can see it right here. Friday's last 1 hour candle right here. And then you see on the open on Sunday, which is really just, what the CME does. It closes on the weekends. But look at this little gap. I was getting ready to talk about it, and then I caught that they dumped it. And look at this perfection, just to leave no more liquidity there, followed by the big run up. One thing to pay attention to is we do have upcoming bullishness. 1 hour 50 about a crossover the 200 on the CME. On the 30-minute, everything already happened. And now you're getting the drawdown potentially, which is nasty. Look at the 15-minute, 8 about to cross the 50, 21 heading under the 50. So does that mean that this run is done? Right? We closed the gap, took all the liquidity that was there, and now we're seeing all this little bearish action. So I'm going to continue to go on the bigger time frames to start trying to find some area confluence. Again, look at these gaps here left, and we're trading at those levels. All these different gaps, a lot of times I don't fully put every gap on the chart because it would just look at all these boxes that I already have. Especially if I go to the daily, you start seeing just all the different gaps and all that, right? So what I'm trying to figure out is, at what point does this relief rally look like a relief rally, which it is, versus, okay, it's a reversal of trend and a breakout. Well, for starters, on the 2 hour, very interesting that we peaked right above this wick here, and it's looking like we want a little higher on these candles, but then you start seeing rejections of the 8. You can't keep going and bringing bullish momentum unless you have the ADMA on your side. So on the 2 hour, it's against us. On the 1 hour, it's now against us as well. And we're bouncing on the 20, which you're seeing the 8 heading down. This is interesting. What's going to happen first? Bullish 50 over 200 cross to give us another pump? Or is this rejection going to take us underneath the 200 and never let the 50 cross? That's what I'm looking out for. When I go to the 2 and 4 hour, you start seeing the same things, but you do have bullishness upcoming. 4 hour 8 cross. That's why where we got this pump. The 21 is heading to the 50. Okay, 6 hours, similar things, right? You're starting to see all these different relief rallies that you want to see. You want to see support zones like this completely get eaten up. We have completely closed that gap. So I'm going to close this live here. It didn't save last time I closed it. So as you see, they just continue to stick to this area. And with the upcoming bullishness on the smaller time frames, you're maybe thinking, well, okay, this could be the bottom. I predicted that this could potentially be done when we started seeing these higher lows, right? So there's a lot of chance that we have here to potentially break out. But then you see the daily. That's when you start realizing we're rejecting the 21. Yeah, we have the 8, but everything else is just so far above us. And we have 3 and 5 day upcoming super bearish crosses that we're trying to reverse. On the 3 day, everything already happened, but we are heading towards the 200 here as we continue to not break through any kind of downtrend. You can look at the 1 hour, 2 hour like I was and feel bullish. And then you go to the big candles and you start realizing, man, this swing high is lower. This doesn't look like bullishness at all. This looks like it's just holding on. Okay, let's go check another candle, the 5 day, so we can see. And what do you know? Bear flag. In case you don't see the bear flag here, let me draw it for you, just so you can. Oh, wrong tab. Sorry. Let me just show you this bear flag so you can kind of see it. So like when sorry, wrong one.
Hey, Clutch, not to interrupt you, but it's a little hard for some of the people to see, I guess, with the chat on the side. Is it okay if can we remove the chat on the side?
Oh yeah, great.
Sorry
great.
about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's actually really good. I should have gone to the landscape mode, which doesn't show any of the chats. Okay, good.
It's perfect.
Better now. Okay, no, great stuff.
Sorry.
No, you're good. On the 5 day, you're seeing the 21 heading towards the 50, and it's getting closer and closer with massive rejections. And you're just seeing kind of this bear flag. If you were to look at it, invert it, right? So this is backwards. Oops. Let me do this. Hold on real quick. So I inverted the chart so you guys can see what I'm talking about and how this feels like, like just the complete bull flag. It's bear flag, backwards, but you see it doesn't even look natural. But what it's really doing is just completely letting us know that it's consolidating in these zones here and looking for a further breakdown from there. And again, that's just me inverting the scale. And in case you don't know how to invert your charts, right click on this price bar. Sorry, right there. So just right click on the price bar here, and where it says invert scale, just unclick it and you go back to your normal side. This usually works for the USDT pumpy dumpy chart for people if you want to make it look different. So for me, I just see this massive drawdown with continuous bearish momentum coming on the bigger time frames, and the smaller time frames aren't really saving me as they don't have all kinds of bullishness. 15-minute triple crossing already happened. 30-minute happened. 1 hour. Okay, the last one's coming. But then from there, 2 and 4 hour, you're just looking at big rejections. To really have a chance, you want to see us break above these levels and make a real run towards 100K, which we just haven't seen. So let's go to the weekly now, as this is the important one. What's crazy about the weekly is it looks just like the 5 day, but the last time we got a 21 under a 50 cross, we got a pretty big correction. And I'm going to show you guys on the weekly on Bitcoin. The last time, because we did get a 21 under a 50 here, and we did dump from 27 down to like 24K. That's only 10%. But again, that was just kind of the relief rally, right? The actual cross was here when the 21 went under the 50. And from there, we went from the 45K range down to what we knew was the bottom at 15,000. So you saw a 75% drawdown from the 21 heading under the 50, which is that green line. So now when we go here on the weekly, 21 under a 50, could we still go down another 75%? God, I hope not, because 75% would put Bitcoin at like 20 something K, and it would fully close the last remaining gap, which is this one at 20K. If I were to just grab a measuring bar from where we are to there, right? Just from that level, look at that, 73%, 75%, right? So that possibility of that move really is there, as we've seen it before. We blew through the 200, went below until we finally gained the 200 and then ripped above it. Since then, we've been above the 200 with not even a remote proximity to touching it once. Far, far, farther, farther, farther. Now we are a little close here. So, hey, maybe, just maybe, the 200 EMA can be our savior and close, just kind of close that bearishness and find support at these levels, which I can see 65, 70K Bitcoin being really strong. If you recall, originally I considered the first part of the dump, the bottom was going to be 80K. Check. The next one I said 60 to 65K. Is that possible? You bet. You bet it is. And it's so obvious just by looking at these weekly charts that just closed. So this gap is getting closer and closer. We're continuing to see much bearishness. If I go to the 2-week, similar, right? As we're holding the 50, we're right above the 50. Look at this. Any rejection now is going to bring us below, which once we reject the 50 on the 2-week, then it's confirmed that we're heading down to the 50 on the monthly. And holding on to the 50 on the 2-week is holding on to the 21 on the monthly. And as you can see it, we're trying everything we can to try to hold on there. But on this monthly chart, yes, we have a higher low here than here, right? So just for the visuals, this is not a higher low than this, right? So what people are hoping is that we're going to bounce here, kind of go sideways here, and then just rip back above. That's what I want. That's not what I think is going to happen, but that's what I want. And it's just looking really nasty. So now when I go to futures on Binance for Bitcoin, some of the things are starting to line up on the 3 and 5 day. So for the 3 day, we are now underneath the 200 again. Actually, we just jumped above it. Look at this. We are above it by $5. So we just continue to hold on to these levels. We are formulating a little bit of an uptrend here, right? So you can see kind of the chart just kind of heading towards these ways there. But man, if we cannot get above this 21, curl everything up, this is getting to the point where the biggest of time frame bearish momentum crosses are well on the way, and we're not stopping them. And that's the dangerous part. On the 5 day, here's where it'll look a little different as we're close to the 200. But look at this uptrend that we're holding on to perfection. And that's the trend that I was really concerned with, to giving us a chance for the market to actually break up and give us a massive, massive dead cat bounce, or hey, the real breakout. So anyways, I grab my trend, and it's an official trend from both of these candles here, right? Which happened on October before the bull market really kind of started. Since then, we have 2 perfect touches, which we hadn't seen, right? We hadn't seen actually touch it. We got close there, right? But we touched it here. And the interesting part is that we went right on this wick, on this dump that we're yet to test. We went right to that perfectly structured trend. This is why it's not a gridded line. It's a solid line, meaning it's an official trend, as official as it gets. So for me, I'm waiting to confirm so I can long the breakout or short the breakdown. I've been catching scalps all across this, but if I'm looking for big levels, I'm waiting for either this to happen, right? And that one, we'll just call it red, Or the other one that can happen is just we go here, followed by the breakout, and that could be our green, right? Because it's obviously we want Bitcoin to go up, but the thing is that on all these bearish big time frames, on all the big time frames, we're looking extremely bearish. On the weekly, 21 about to cross the 50, and then what's in between the 200, this trend and the 200, right, is there's really nothing here other than if we break down towards these levels, we're officially confirming a lower low followed by the continuation of just heading towards the bottom of the cycle. So this trend here is very, very important. If you're paying attention, you definitely want to take a mental note of this trend. Again, this is on a weekly time frame. You can do it on the daily, you can do it on the monthly. It's going to look the same because it's official, valid trend. And look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4 touches to perfection. You normally get 2. You need 2 wicks, 1 solid, 2 solids, 1 wick. We have 2 and 2. This goes to show you how perfect of an executed chart is being presented here. The market makers knew every breakout we're going to head to that trend. Every breakout head towards the 21 in that trend. Every breakout head towards the 21 in that trend. It's so easy to track these things, but you got to be patient. This takes many, many moons. Andrew, someone's requesting if you can accept them. You see? Not sure who it was. Massimo. All right. Massimo, you're back in. So anyways, just with let me hide chat overlay there. I got the chat removed so it looks even better. Okay. So when I'm looking at Bitcoin, it's exactly what we've been expecting, which is just what's it holding on for? Grabbing more liquidity so we can go parabolic? That doesn't sound accurate. When's the last time the market makers wanted me to just have forever gains? Oh, yeah. Accumulate this bottom as long as you want. We'll continue to fake pump, drop it to that level so you can keep buying, and then we're going to rip to 180K Bitcoin. The whole market's going to go parabolic, so all you guys are going to freaking get paid. That's what it looks like. When's the last time it was that easy? I'm extremely suspicious as we're holding on to these levels for a reason, and those reasons aren't that great. So let's go look at Pumpy Dumpy, as that's the one we really want to look at. Dude, you guys keep requesting. You guys need to solve your net issues. Anyways, on USDT Dumpy Pumpy, here's the big one, man. And for me, we broke through that trend. And it's starting to look at this massive bull flag. When this chart pumps, your bag's dumped, so you don't want that. That's what it's doing. The weekly 50 over the 200, look, already crossed, which means that the 3 and 5 day just crossed, right? Look at that. Oh, no, the 5 day is about to cross. So we have more bullish momentum here, and we're right there. It would make sense why we pumped to 90K and freaking ate it all up, right? This morning, this fast. So 5 day, the bearishness is coming. On the 3 day, it already happened for sure. Daily already happened. So once you start going through all the smaller time frames, you start realizing, okay, all the bearish, or I should say bullish momentum, because it's bearish momentum opposite, right? But all here, let me invert the scale too for some of y'all. So we want, when this chart goes up, right, that means the market's going to pump. So right, to figure out if we're heading to these 200s on the 6, 4 hour, 2 hour, you notice how we keep going to those levels. But what you don't want to see is rejections to where we head back to my Toyota and ramen territory. The smaller time frames kind of just got extended. All crossing already happened. 1 hour, 30 minute. Look at this. 8 under a 21 now. Heading towards Toyota and ramen. You don't want that. 15 minute. Yeah, look, same thing. 21 just crossed all that. We should be heading towards this 200. So an immediate relief rally for USDT dominance seems to be what's happening. 1 hour, 2 hours. So our hope is that we break down above from this area, or I should say below. Here, let me go back to the regular look. So our hope here is that on the 2 hour time frame, we reject here and we head down under the 200. So then the the 21 and the 50 can go under the 200, and we can get a big, massive pump. On the 4-hour, 21 under a 50, not looking good, right? So this is kind of helping us. If this 4-hour cross happens and we reject, head towards the 200 on the 4-hour, that means the 2-hour rejected, and we got that action that we wanted. So pay attention to the 2 and 4-hour charts as they're your tell, followed by the 6-hour, right? This candle ends in 6 hours. So we got a brand new 6-hour candle, but look at what you're getting. The 8 is on its way to heading under the 50, which if that happens, we can see this little bullishness evaporate and this chart goes bearish, which means what? When this chart dumpies, your bag's pumpy. So if we want a long, we want to start seeing that 6-hour 8 happen, that 4-hour crossing happen. But really, it comes down to you want to make sure the 2-hour 200 does not hold. Right now, we have one wick, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attempts on the 2-hour candles. 12 hours of it trying to lose that 200, and it keeps gaining it. That sniffs out bullishness to me, so be very, very careful. But everything I'm looking at, guys, is the same thing. We're right on this Toyota and ramen trend. Heading towards Lambo stake is what we would love. So a massive rejection here followed by a breakdown towards the lifetime trend is really what we're looking for. But my goodness, we are still so bullish. So much time left. These types of breakouts, they tend to happen when the bear markets commence. You can see it kind of, here we broke out, we kept pulling back, we broke out, we kept pulling back, breakout, pulled back, and then followed by just these massive runs towards the bear market. So we kept trying to break out, we kept rejecting all 3 separate times, and here we are now. I don't know about you guys, but this chart's looking like it just kind of wants to do this before we just head down towards the Lambo and stake territory in our forever freaking golden run. Look at the dates: 26th, 27, 2028. All it takes is more and more candles being printed on here. It's starting to look really bad, guys. Overall, the only thing that looks good in the market now is me hoping that USDT dominance goes on a 2-4 hour breakdown to save the market. That's not bullish. If we were talking about biggest of time frames, these are the only ones that are left. Now we can start aping the bottom and really accumulating. But because we're in a stage where it's just getting started, yeah, I mean, you would want to catch longs at these levels. But if we don't reject and break down this 2-hour area, we're going to be cooked for a while. So Bitcoin dominance continuing to show. Bitcoin dominance is just, Bitcoin is where the strength is. Nothing is bringing us alt season. We're in awareness of that. Let's call it break-even season is really what we've gotten. But when it comes to Solana, on the 2-week, the 8 just crossed under the 200. The 12 and 21 are coming. Heck, let's go to the weekly. Oh, man, it gets even worse. But wait, there's more, right? And what is it that's more is we are on the verge of losing a lower low. We're right above the 200, and we got all the EMAs pointing down at a 4 o'clock time frame or at a 4 o'clock angle, which just simply means bearishness across the board. Everyone keeps jeeting all these pumps, and it's obvious because you can see the white rabbit is going up. This is our white rabbit DMI indicator. And then even when we caught this volatility here, we circled it, rising volatility, all it's done is give us scam pumps. So Solana is on scam pump territory. Bitcoin is on hold on territory. And USDT dominance is on only one thing can stop me before we go super parabolic territory. This is not a healthy place in the market. And let me show you guys a good reason why. Because on the daily, Z-Trash is doing things like this. Completely eating away dumps and just consolidating towards the upside. On the biggest of time frames, it's super bullish. Because look, we broke way above all EMAs and now we're kind of holding on there. On the monthly time frame, same thing. We can go to the 5-day and you start realizing, okay, we're way above all these different EMAs. So what else is going to send Z-Trash to the frickin' moon when there's really no other bullish crossings coming? Every chart that I go with, look, daily, I can go to 6 hour, everything you look at, all the bullish crossing already happened. 4 hour, I guess that's coming, 50 over 200. 2 hour, that's it. All bearishness. 21 and 8 heading down, right? This is a market sign. This is a trash coin that is top 20, guys. That's one thing I didn't look at for coin market cap, but we definitely want to do that. Why is it important? Because Z Trash is freaking 16th place. 16, right? 16th biggest coin in the world, and it's one of the worst ones. Exit Liquidity Central. Privacy for frickin' freaks and weirdos. I'm sorry, crypto people, y'all want this type of privacy where nobody knows anything? Yeah, there's a lot of frickin' crime that you really are thinking of doing with these sort of things, because we all want privacy, but what you're looking for is not privacy. You want to be able to be a ghost in the blockchain. And that, the last times we've allowed that, what have we gotten? Secret societies and countries running other countries, and the banking systems all being controlled. It is the beginning of scams and crimes when you see trash like this surviving. And this is just how easy it is to kind of track that. Man, how can I be bullish when all the bullishness on charts like this is already showing that it's damn near over? So all the scam pumps are almost done. Ethereum scam pump is almost done. We keep losing 3K and gaining it, but at some point, look at the 5-day, 21 under a 50. I can just go to the daily and okay, it looks similar, right? All the bearishness already happened on the smallest of time frames, but when you go to the 3, 5-day and weekly, 3-day underneath the 200. Look at that. Underneath the 200 with the EMAs pointing straight down. I already showed you the 5-day. Bearishness on its way. Now let me show you the weekly. Same thing. 8 already crossed the 50, 21 heading here, and we're above the 200, but for how long? Right? So everything I'm seeing on Ethereum looks very similar to all the other charts, which is hopium. 2-week chart, 8 about to cross the 21, and then what? We lose the 50, head towards the 200, right? And the dangerous part is for Ethereum, when it freaking ran, right, on this freaking running, you didn't do enough it left too many gaps here to be way above the EMAs that once you lost them, it was just going to act as your biggest opponent. And this is what happened. We went below. We did not bring all the EMAs with us all the way. There was a big gap here. So Ethereum took it. The market makers went up more legs because no one expected it. We knew to short these areas. Obviously, I'm not going to go over that again, but just really understanding Ethereum's chart is understanding that you have to go up and down because what you want can't be straight there. You can't just go straight there if you're the market makers. I want down, I'm just going to go there. I want up, I'm just going to go there. You can't. You have to shake people out. You have to make people close positions. You have to make people sell here and buy at these levels, which people have been doing that for Ethereum. Thinking, well, 3K Ethereum is very valuable. Look at all these people just eating up all these levels. Not healthy at all. Solana perp contract is looking freaking trash as well. When you just look at the weekly, we're way below just these support zones. What happens when we break support zones? We're heading towards lifetime trend. We lose that. We're heading to $60, $80 Solana. So, guys, everything I'm looking at the market does not look healthy. It does not look like something that I want to just go and continue to ape. But what is something that I'm going to keep doing is I'm going to keep scalping and keep taking the free money that presents itself nonstop. There is more bearishness than bullishness. But again, when there is a lot more fear, we become greedy. When there's a lot of greed, we become fearful. Right now, the greed is rising. It's getting big. I don't like it. My spidey senses are up. So I'm going to continue to be on the lookout and understand that big time frame trumps little time frame. You want to do your TA on a 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour candles, and I'm doing TA on the 3-day, 5-day, weekly, 2-week, month. I promise you I'm going to be right way more often than you are, because you can't hide the big candles. You can't hide, the big numbers on certain charts like USDT dominance, Bitcoin dominance is a tell, but the CME, that little gap that was there, and you seeing that in a 2-3 hour time frame, they just go and take that gap, and then they massive pump unexpectedly. That's called exit liquidity. We are in exit liquidity central here. Market makers know that this market is very indecisive, so they have to make those decisions for you. And people won't buy unless it's big old green candles, and people won't sell unless it's big old red candles. And that's what's crazy to me. When you are trading, I want to close my shorts on green, and I want to close my longs, right? When I'm closing my longs, when it's about to head red. On the red, first sign of a red candle, that's a big one after I've caught a big breakout, I'm not going to sit there and just hold my trade to where I'm break even because the market makers took it back to my entrance. You just got to understand right now, we are in see green, take green territory still, scam pump galore. But at the end of the day, USDT dumpy pumpy chart is too scary for me to make any big drastic move. Why? Because it's right underneath the Toyota and ramen territory. And if we break above that, we're going to see a massive, nasty 40 to 80% correction across the board on all kinds of charts. And if Bitcoin gives us 40, 50, 60, 70% retrace, everybody else is going to do 80, 90% retraces from these levels. So understand, we are in a very dangerous slope. So treat your money with uttermost importance, as it's your powder that you need to get out of the rut during the bottoms of the bear, by buying as many alts as you can. As you guys know, I continue to short to use that to fuel my spot buying. I want to buy spot from the free money the market gives me. So therefore, if the market goes to crap 50% and I'm down 50%, well, I'm only down profits that I bought with all my trading. So stay sharp, guys. There's a lot of dangerous operations going on, and the market makers know we have to go both ways to liquidate everyone. We're running out of money, and they're running out of double liquidations, as you're starting to see the big pumps and big dumps get smaller and smaller. All right, took my drink of my coffee. Any feedback from anybody? What's popping?
Man, one thing I wanted to point out was the daily chart, bro.
Okay.
The daily chart on USDT.
Okay.
Dominance.
You want me to screen share it?
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Okay.
Since October 6th, we've had this crazy uptrend on the daily chart.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we're wicking beneath it multiple times now. Multiple times.
Yeah, look at this on my chart. Yeah, it's just been on an absolute tear, right?
The daily, so yeah, draw a trend from October 26th on the daily.
Yeah, it's from that wick, that 3-day candle that I told us, hey guys.
Yep.
This boy buy.
So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the daily? Yeah, no, if you go tight on it like before. Yeah, there you go. If I feel like,
damn,
that's obviously been its line in the sand. If you put it to the wicks though, you'll get multiple wicks.
Well, if you do the wicks though, then you cross these wicks here, and it's not official. So when I'm trying to find a trend, not an alley, I don't want to cut through any wicks. I don't want to cut through any candles. So like here,
I don't have any cut throughs on mine for some reason.
Well, no, I'm saying because where I did it, look. So you see this line right here is touching it. If you're looking at my chart. So look, if I put it any tighter, right? So we're right on the wick. This could be considered a solid also, or we can just consider a 2 wick play. So we need a solid, right? So that's 2 That's 3 wicks right here. And then you see all these other wicks. If I move this up, it's going to invalidate this trend. So what I am seeing is that these wicks are kind of heading towards that trend. So it's just following this trend, not necessarily touching it. And that's just scary. So I could see what you're seeing, which is at some point you have to keep doing this before you lose the trend, right? Because if the trend is here,
Exactly.
right? So if the trend is there, then you want to kind of fall through and really lose that. So yeah, exactly. I have been kind of looking at that and just kind of, let me just, I don't like having too many lines on my chart. Let me just delete that. Okay, cool. So the thing is that's why I was pointing out the 3-day and the 5-day, because that's going to be the tell when it finally curbs. After the 5-day cross happens, the weekly cross just happened. You have the 2-week cross getting ready to happen. You see the 21 just crossed over the 50. So like you have the last bit of bullishness coming. So there is a sign that insane uptrend that USDT dominance build cannot keep up with it much longer. So that's why I'm saying what I think, which is the moves are getting tighter, which means the big move is coming, whether it's going to be up above Toyota and Ramen or down towards the lifetime trend. We're kind of in the same distance. So for example, if I take my measuring bar where we are now to the top of my trend, that is 35%, right? So 35% to the top of where I think it could be the top. And then now let's go to the bottom of the lifetime trend. Look at that. Darn near 30% goes. So we are 50-50 here. Now, what's crazy is I was able to call the 95% move. Dude, we're going there. My when 3-touch trend, bro, we're gonna freaking do it. And same thing, we still don't have a technical trend. We have an alley because we've gotten 1, 2, 3 wick touches. No solid. We still need a solid candle. What I'm waiting for, Ghost, and this is my summary to what you said, on the daily even, I am looking for a solid candle to finish right on this trend. We almost had it this day, which was Thursday, right? I want to see a candle finish right there because then it'll give us a perfect 3-touch trend. I'll fix this to a solid line, right? And then I will remove the words that say predicted extended bear alley, 3-touch, when 2, right? Like that becomes an official trend. That will get me bullish knowing that this trend is established. Now we are going to reject it and at least head down towards the bottom. At the worst case, 5.5%, which was the support that I was looking for the start of the bear market. 4.5% was level 1, check. 5.5% was level 2, check. This is why we kept rejecting 6%, but I wasn't sold because 5.5 was the freaking support. So now you're really just kind of looking for that, because if we don't establish an actual trend, then it can break up and go towards the trend on moment's notice. Because if we get a big old candle up here, heck, even if that candle gets moved a little, right? Like, because this is the trend that the predicted trend, right? But even if the candle kind of closes there, wherever it closes, it'll still be a 3-touch trend. So this is my tell, alley versus trend. Trend, I go bullish because that means it's going to the trends. If it continues to not give me a proper trend here, then I know they're just kind of scaling to see what happens based off of the market information. And then from there, they fricking cook us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think we do trends a little different, but I think we're pretty much aligns. I mean, I guess let me ask you a question with your trends. When you say 2 wick, 1 base of a candle, you don't want any wick piercing through even if the candle closes?
That's not a trend. That would be an alleyway. So it's the alley. We kind of see this with like monthly closes, yearly closes, all that, right? They're all there for a reason. But if you want the current trend where it's at, and it teaches this on Wise Trade. This isn't even something that I go off of. I just go off of the institutional guys that have taught me, the market makers that have taught me, and then Wise Trade, which is one of the platforms that I have chosen to learn a lot of the things that I've learned from. and they do not validate wicks that go through. They are just potentials of what could happen based off of what's happened before. But when you know what's going to happen, it's when official alleys and trends are established, because then you can kind of project from there, if that makes sense.
100%. But I guess my question is if a candle opens and that's your third candle touch, so you have 2 wicks and the candle opens at that exact trend, would that make it an official trend? Then depending on what that, like, okay, just so I'm trying to learn this. This has like always been a mind difference for me. Go to a weekly on USDT.
That's a great question, Ghost.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on the weekly.
Okay. So on the weekly,
Okay.
draw your uptrend for the weekly for me.
Okay. So on the
This
weekly,
is where I started mine from the 26th of October. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually the 6th of October.
Sorry, 6.
Okay. So you get the wick here, and this could be considered a solid, right?
Right.
Because it still touches the solid candle. But you see, if I go up on the solid here, let me do a different color as well so we can kind of see it. Okay. So here, right, I can't go up this trend because we already lost it. So it already lost that crazy bullish trend.
Okay, but if we rewind time, let's just pretend we haven't gotten there yet. Where would you draw your trend before the last 2 weekly
right
candles?
Here. So check this out. I'm gonna zoom in. You have the one touch, which can be a solid or a wick, whichever one you want. It's really perfectly placed there.
That's where I got it.
Right. And then you see another solid and wick touch. So you kind of have both here. You don't have any here. You don't have any here. And you don't have any here. There's no touch, but we already have the 3 touch there because we have the 1. Actually, no, we have 2 because we never got the official 3rd touch. So we're waiting on a 3rd touch to. So this right here, I wouldn't call it a trend. I would call it an alley because the trend already broke. Let me
with precision, like zoom in on the 4. Yeah, like let's just say you hit that exact wick, right, a little bit lower, right there. Stop. And if you zoom in really good, we got 3 wicks. So this is where I charted it originally, the weekly. We had 1 right there on the 6th.
Right, 1.
Yep. 2.
3. 4.
So this is where I'm at on my, now when I go to the daily, I see exactly where I was talking about before, how we're right on it. I mean, like bumper to bumper. We've had wicks lose it, but not fully. Like literally, it's been like probably the best uptrend I've seen to a T.
But no, for sure. But that's what I'm saying is on these wicks, like you see on the daily, it crossed over it. So it already invalidated that particular trend on a daily, but not the weekly. And look at all these dailies. It does. So that's why it's not a trend. It's an alley. So it is following that alley even when it wicks through it. I follow alleys all the time. Right.
But would you consider it a weekly trend, but a daily alley, in other words?
Correct. It's the daily alley that it's on. But on this one here, 1, 2, we don't have a 3 touch, so it's still there's still chase.
The 3 is on that 3rd green candle or the 2nd green candle to the top right, no?
For weekly, yeah, that's the 2nd, right? So we're just waiting on the 3rd. You see, because
I'm saying up top. I'm saying up top to the right, top, like the last 3 weeks. Yeah, this one is.
No, on the yellow line on the weekly is touching it, but not on my pink line. My pink line is my weekly. The yellow line is my daily. Look, so let's go to the daily again. Okay. On the daily. And here, let's do this.
Yeah, get rid of the pink one. Just do the weekly uptrend. And then when you look at it on the daily.
Look, this is better. Now you can see both. So on the daily, if I grab the trend perfectly from there, 1, 2 wicks, 3, 4 wicks, 5, 6 wicks, 7 wicks, but no, I guess the solid can be this very first one. So if we grab this trend from here, boom, Then we have the solid wicks. And then let me adjust it because we crossed it. Hold on. I'm going to get this as precise as possible.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see because that was where I was at. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, of course. Okay. So we just need you see? And it lines up. It lines up here. So on the daily, that's official, no crosses, 1 solid, 2 wicks, 1 solid, 2 solids, and a bunch of wicks, actually. So on the daily, that's the trend. Now let's go look at it on the weekly. It kind of lines up, you see? Boom. But it cuts through on the weekly. So that's why we use the pink one on the weekly. You see, because this one cuts through that candle. So it's almost a perfect structure on the daily, but it's so close on the weekly. That's why on the weekly, we have the actual trend line. We need one more solid here. So if we can get one more candle here, it closes. And then on the next one, we have to either rip above or rip below. Like we're right to that spot where the next candle here on the weekly, next 2-3 candles on the daily, right? Because we can measure the bars. Look at the daily. All I got to do is measure from where we are, from here to there. That's 11 bars. So 11 day, a week and a half. That's how I kind of figure when it's going to be doing these things. But yeah, unless I have an official trend, which on the daily, we now have one, then I can do this. So now I know the yellow is my daily and the pink is my weekly trend.
Yeah, that's all I was.
This-
So I was pointing out on the daily trend, I have a perfect structured uptrend, and that's where I was confused if you see
Gotcha.
if it's there or not, and if I was doing something wrong. So that's exactly where I'm at. I'm at weekly.
So here's the difference
in the daily.
Right. So I found the difference is I grabbed the candle on the 6th versus the candle on the 7th for the daily.
Yeah, mine's always been October 6th because that's when the liquidation event was.
No, well, it was October 10th, liquidation day. It was this day. Look. Yep, October 10th. You see the wick. This freaking big ass candle. But yeah, it was right.
October 6th is when Solana lost 155, I believe it was, for like the first time, and it's never reclaimed it since. October 6th is a really big day for us all around. That's why I only started it there. But now I see what you're breaking down. I appreciate that.
Yeah, let me just hide the chat. Okay, we're good. All right. No, look, it reminds me of, check this out. Because this trend right here that we have on daily reminds me of this trend for Bitcoin. You see? On the daily, look how it adds up. Because that trend comes from the bear market. That trend also covered liquidation day because liquidation day was just here, right? Up here. Like, look at this big ass dump, right? But that trend on USDT dominance lines up with my lifetime trend on Bitcoin futures. Look at this to perfection. You see? So this is why we're like, okay, if we can bounce here and USDT dominance can lose here, we're golden. My suspicion, though, is that we're going to do this, go here, trade, and then lose it. Right? That's my suspicion. Because for me, them breaking down here and just coming down towards a lifetime trend, that's the free money. That's easy money and free money for all of us. Like, this is a big trend. You lose this trend, even if you start wicking too many candles below it, it's going to turn into an alley. Trends don't get broken immediately. Alleys do, though, because alleys already show you there were breakout attempts and they got stuffed. So an alley kind of starts letting you know that, hey, which attempt are you on? Oh, this is the 7th time in this alley that you're like, this is where your levels work out. Because you're always looking at, oh, last time Solana was here, it rejected. So now you can take a lot of merit from your alleys versus your trends. Trends are easy. If we don't break that trend, I'm shorting there or longing, right? Depending on which direction, but it kind of does itself. What fake outs do is the key to kind of really figuring out these market makers, because they show you things on purpose, especially wicking wicks below trends. Those are all signs and tells if you pay attention long enough, right? So that's all I'm trying to say is that, trends and alleys, whether you use them as official or not, isn't the real issue. The real issue is if you understand the difference between a trend and an alley. And that's just what it is, right? We just kind of dove into the basics of it. Is an alley is just a projected area, a trend. It's a freaking solidified level.
That's facts. It's facts.
Cool. Great question. Great question. Anybody else? This is what it's about. Good stuff, Ghost.
Well, that was fire for sure.
Okay, well, I don't have anything else, guys. All I know is that, hey, we're cooking where we expected. Now we need to understand these trends, and to do so, the 2-hour chart is what we're looking for. Remember that, guys. The 2 hour is going to show you if it's going to reject this level on USDT dumpy pumpy, and we're going to continue with the bearish drawdown. So 2-hour chart is where it's at. Pay attention to your 2-hour charts. Get your trades in. Go to Novex.finance. Go to our free Telegram. Just go to the search bar. You don't even need a link. Just type in Novex Fi. Novex-Fi. That's our handle for X as well. Follow us there. Like and repost the stream. Tag a friend. Let us know what you liked. Let us know what you hated. Let us know what we should do better, could do better, whatever. But this is what we do Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays at noon Eastern to help you, our traders, continue to be profitable. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do cup and handle with Ghost as well. So look out for those streams. And Monday through Fridays, we're doing a lot of poker stream. Obviously we have Morgan. She mentioned, wanting to play poker with us. Well, dude, good stuff. Because Tuesdays with Ghost, Fridays and Saturdays are our 3 poker days. And with Andrew, we're doing Wednesdays. I'm going to be starting an additional poker day. So between us, you're going to get 4 to 6 poker streams per week, 4 to 6 trading streams per week. And guess what? I'm about to start streaming Xbox. We're dialed in. If you're an FC26
Clutch,
player,
real
if you're
quick,
a Madden 26 player, what's up, bro?
Oh, let's say real quick, you're gonna get some more poker streams than that because I'm planning on firing up the poker stream at the top of the hour here and doing that $5 50K and probably running that pretty much every day like that this week. So my official that I host is a $1 $500 guarantee every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, but you can catch us here grinding all week. I tagged you in the post on my page there, Morgan. But yeah, just want everybody to know we'll be back here in a few to stream some more poker.
Thank you.
Heck yeah, guys. Well, any final words from any of our speakers, go ahead and take the mic. Massimo requested again. I brought him up, but if any of y'all have anything, this is your time to say it as we get ready to end this stream.
I just want to say thank you guys. Thanks for letting me be here. This is really cool. I love watching this, and I'm also watching Ghost post his wins in the Telegram. So if people aren't in the Telegram, like definitely join and see what's going on in the back channels. Super excited to be here with you guys. Excited to play some poker. Just looking forward to it. So thank you again.
Let's freaking go. Good job, Morgan. Super exciting to have. Anytime we get a new teammate, it brings joy to our hearts. But when you bring somebody that has that dedication, that's rare. We could tell you have it. So let's help you direct that in the best way possible. We're here to help you grow as well. Thank you so much, for entrusting us with being a crew that you're down to run with. So let's get it, baby.
Thank you. Hell yeah.
Great show again, brother.
Thanks, Massimo. Beepity boppity. No Massimo University. That's tomorrow.
Motivate University tomorrow, and we are not streaming, obviously, on Thursday for Christmas. So Tuesday this week is
no Christmas special.
You know what? I prefer not to royally piss my wife off and take time away from the fam on Christmas. So yeah, I'm choosing family over all you guys. I apologize, but I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
No, I got you, bro. Well, hey, much love. Definitely tune in to Massimo's Motivate University. Him and Evo run a tight shift, and they continue to just bring topics that you'll never think that they're important. And then one day you'll find yourself, wait, they were just talking about controlled anger and not being a douchebag 2 weeks ago. Oh, I freaking stopped myself. So definitely, guys, you want to catch what you can when you can when it comes to X, as there's not much value on there. And there's a ton of value that has been coming in through our crew. We don't just focus on, hey, buy my coin so I can use you as exit liquidity. Screw that. It's, hey, this is about you getting better, and you just continue to bring those things to us. That's why when I get better, I bring those things to y'all. When y'all get better, same thing. We continue to just grow as a unit. So this is great to see. Good stuff, Massimo. Anybody else, as I get ready to end the stream, play a song and get us on the road?
No, this has been a great stream. Good conversation. Andrew, I sent you all the information about the munition stuff. I also commented under my live stream if anybody wants to read all the stuff. But great stream. I loved the chat with Ghost after all the TA. Not to say your stuff wasn't very good as well, Clutch. But yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday, son.
No, for
or
sure.
tonight for poker.
Yeah, well, dude, you're going to see us almost every day. On the weekends, we're chilling. But, guys, I'm going to be gaming. If you're a gamer, FC26, Madden 26, reach out. We're going to be doing competitions, tournaments, and actual prizes. So we're not just gaming just the game. We're gaming to bring a lot of attention to the crew and all the different things that we're doing as we're just sitting here waiting for trades to develop. So much love, everybody. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to watch this stream and you chose to come vibe with us. That means the world to us. Tune in on the next stream. I'm sure you'll catch Andrew. You'll see me repost it, but have a great rest of your day. Much love, baby. We're just here painting our story. The West Side Crypto Hustle story, baby. I'll get us some more songs. I got like 20 of them now. I just got to upload them. But for now, this is what you're going to get, baby. Westside Crypto Hustle. Check out Novex.finance. Check out all the crew. Much love, everybody.
Westside.
Fist, the way you do it, up and down. That's how you do it.
Shake it out.
Clown walk, clown walk. Oh, that's the candle walk. Candle wicking.
The green one, right?
Well, hopefully. And I write the red candle.
I'm stacking on that E-Rock. Wallet full of alpha keys, turn never lock. Novex Finance, where the game gets flipped. Candle pattern sparking every chart we grip. Decentralized hustle, never sink, never
Do your
slip.
chickens move like that?
My chickens waddle. Waddle on the way to the fridge. They know where they belong.
Do that, Alex. Do the waddle.
Do the waddle, Alex. Oh, the chicken waddle. Oh.
Chickens don't drink, Alex.
But I beat
They
the
do.
scheme out for moves
Alex, come here,
nightly. Cashing out the dream from the Satoshi code to the ether's flame. Novex rewrites rules in this money game. Charge speak the gospel, prophets proclaim. West Side Rider, blockchain my flame.
Yeah.
There you go. That's better.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Check us out. Repo